Reg, sorry for the little delay. We had a few technical issues, but we're all right now. Looks like the team did as well. But I've got a mate of mine who's joined me today. He is also in the UAE with me, and I hope you're all right, lads. It's been a loud few weeks, hasn't it? Should I say?
Yeah, to say the least. Not to make light of it, but I don't think anything's ruined my weekend more than Liverpool somehow, though. So, listen, it's been a bit weird for you and I. It's been a bit weird out here. But listen, like we've said to each other, we're in a safe spot. Like things are fine here. For the most part, it's just a bit different. A lot of working from home. A lot of friends and family checking in and just making sure they know that we're fine. But
this is it, lad. Yeah. Like I was meant to go today, but I mean, because I've got dogs and stuff, lad, I didn't want to just get off, which is understandable, as you know.
Yeah.
Mike, you've seen me fucking. I'm just going to say, look, before I jump into it, smash a like, everyone. Good to see you in the chat. I will go through some of the comments in a minute, but because we're a bit delayed, I'll crack us on. We'll crack on. As you can see, me fucking barbers out of the country. Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? It seems like Liverpool are out of it as well. Mike, do you know what? Look, we'll cut the bollocks. You've seen me on podcasts. You've watched me on here many times, lads. Irate. But, Mike, to be honest, it's gone past the funniness. It's gone past the anger now. It's boring, Mike. Mike, do you know what? We're both passionate. We have different views. Of course, we always will.
Yeah, of course.
You see a footy, Mike, but I think we're very close now to the similar view, Mike, that it can't carry on this. It can't keep going on, Mike.
Well, I think what's interesting, Ben, is like, one thing you and I align in the fact that we both want what's best for Liverpool. Now, in terms of how we get there, I think I've got this optimism. I put a video out on Twitter that people seem to resonate with, where I said to the final couple of minutes, it's the hope that kills you. It's the hope that kills you. And I think that's the situation that I've been in. And you've been a much more, I used to say pessimistic. Now I say realistic because of the way it's panned out. You certainly have been proven more right than I think.
And that's not what I wanted either, Mike, by the way.
No, but, and I know that. And that's one thing I respect about you as well, Ben. You say a lot off camera, and that's why I know you aren't saying shit just to say it. Like, your view on the game is consistent. And that's one thing I do respect about you. Like, when we've had one-on-one conversations, because I tell you what, guys, by the way, if you don't know, when Ben is right, he'll send you a 2-minute voice note after a game. he'll let you know. There'll be a nice little voice note when you WhatsApp.
I'm going to wrong, I'll block you.
If he's wrong, you never hear from the boy again.
Fucking see you later.
Salah stayed past January. I didn't hear from Ben for a minute.
I forgot it. Who's that again?
Who's that? Mo. He started saying Mo. I always thought Mo would stay. But no, listen, it's we're in a tough situation. I think we all played midweek a little bit with, like, we knew what it was, and that's what frustrated me. And Lewis said it really well. Lewis Aspinall, for those who don't know, Lewis shout out Lewis. It's one step forward, 2 steps backward, and that is the season encapsulated. We played brilliantly midweek. I won't let anyone tell you different. We played fantastically well. Slot was passionate. The fans were on side. The energy was there, and we all went brilliant. But we all knew. Why do we know that this is going to be a one-off? And we all knew. But we all knew it was going to be. And the Brighton game, listen, I think before we get into it, I will say the Ekatike substitution, really not ideal. Suddenly, we don't have a focal point. Salah not being available. No, we didn't. And Salah not being available, absolutely. But I can't look at this Liverpool team and go, well, that performance represents what you guys can bring to the table without these players. That's fair. It wasn't. The first half, I wasn't mad at. I will say, by the way, I wasn't mad at the first half. The first half wasn't great, wasn't good.
It's what you kind of expect, Mike, just sitting in the game and got a goal back, didn't you?
Yeah, we got a goal back. We were sitting in the game. It was fine. Before we conceded, we were playing okay. But then the second half, I can't explain it. I don't know what's happening. The pressing disappears. The focal point was completely gone. Every time Gakpo got the ball, I'm not one for personal attacks on players. I never will be. I understand where it comes from with fans. I put a tweet out to very politely say, Gakpo as a number 9 doesn't work. And what I was trying to say behind that, but I was limited by characters and obviously people misinterpreting what I was saying. His hold-up play isn't there. He's not got the pace to run in behind. And he takes too many touches. He takes 3 or 4. No, he doesn't. And Wirtz needs a player who's gonna open the game up. But he was
Mike,
touch tight to Wirtz as if he was marking.
We may as well have brought Florian off as well, lads, because he had nothing. You can't have a number 10 when you don't have anything in front, lads. What's the fucking point?
No, not at all. It was like he was trying to play Andre Voronin in front of Gerrard. Like, Gerrard would have absolutely tried to find Voronin. But, like, give him a quality player. Give him a quality player. And listen, again, a lot falls on the players because I think some of the passes were sloppy, decision-making was sloppy. But then you look at the decision-making as well from the coaching staff, like in terms of the setup second half. It was odd. We dropped Szoboszlai deep, put Gravenberch further to the right to cover Frimpong, so Frimpong could go further forward. Yerry Minter, whatever you think of the player, tore Frimpong inside and out. He then turned Szoboszlai inside and out. Yeah, I like Frimpong as well.
I do like him.
It was.
Do you know what, Mike? Do you know what this Liverpool side do not have, mates? They don't have a set of fucking bollocks, lads. They're all weak, lads. They're too fucking weak. I was talking to my mate Andy, who comes on the pod, Mike. Like Jordan, half time it was. And he went, do you know what? Klopp's team with the likes of Fabinho, Milner, Wijnaldum, Henderson, he said he'd fucking battered this team. Because this team is just a fucking 11 pussies on the pitch, lads. And there's more than 11. Do you know what I mean? Because Mike, you put a foot in on them, they roll round after time.
Well, do you know what I mean? You want to know something? A great example of that. First 10 minutes of the game. Actually, the commentary we get out here is a little bit different to the one that you guys get on TNT and that. But the commentary team on TOD was saying, it was like, sort of, Milner made 2 or 3 big tackles early on, and he went, Milner's going in a bit tough. And I thought to myself straight away, I was like, oh, fuck, I missed that, I miss that. And listen, I like Gravenberch.
I was going in tough, Mike. Listen, he was just fucking doing his normal job.
He was doing what a midfielder's meant to do in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of a game. And listen, I like McAllister. I don't think McAllister had a terrible game today. I think he played very well this week as well. Listen, I think people have found their scapegoats for the season, and regardless of whether they play well or don't, they're always going to be used as an excuse. Kirk has nearly became a scapegoat, but thankfully he's been nothing but brilliant for 3 months.
But this is the problem, Mike. Can I just interrupt on the Macca thing?
No, go right ahead.
This is where... Now, right, I'm not a fan of Gakpo, and I know a lot of people aren't. Not that I don't like him. I think Gakpo is what he is. He's a squad player. That's it. And he's a very good squad player if you've got a top 100%. Fucking front line. Which Liverpool do have top players at the top end. It's just that obviously we 100%. Haven't had the full of them on the pitch. However, with regards to McAllister as well, this is where it falls on Arne's slot. And this is not just me picking on the manager. Anything that them players do now, Mike, will be seen as not good enough, right? Because it's been left out in this team far too fucking long, lads. Do you know what I mean? He should have took them out of the limelight, made certain changes. It's the same with Curtis Jones now. Anytime he comes in, people are on his back. Lad, I'm yet to see him playing in his proper position for weeks. Do you know what I mean?
He was playing right back. He was playing left side of a front three. And how are you meant to get any sort of tempo or pattern? Not every player is a James Milner. This is the thing. I think one thing I lauded and applauded the likes of Milner and Henderson and Firmino for is that you could put them anywhere around their position. They'll do a job for you, right? They'll do a job. But most players aren't like that. You have to play them in the right position to get the best out of them. You're never going to play Salah left wing. You're never going to play, you're never going to play Van Dijk left back. You play them where you play them to get the best out of them. And Curtis Jones, listen, I'm not saying it's the same quality as Van Dijk and Salah, but you play him in the middle of the park. And McAllister, you don't play McAllister as a 6. You play him a little bit further forward. Szoboszlai, put him in midfield for Christ's sake. I know, listen, I know there's a whole load management shit, and I hear that. But we're going into the international break now. And listen, Ben, I'm going to spin it back to you, man. I know how I stand on this, and I think I've already said it to you. I don't see anything changing. I don't see anything happening. I think we're just going to stick with it, and we're going to end up dragging it through the end of the season. I mean with the manager, because I'm telling you now, and you know as well as I do from the years we've watched football, when is the last time you can sack a manager? It's in the last international break. This is the last chance.
If he doesn't go now, he doesn't go at all till the summer, yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say if he doesn't go now, and I hate to say this, unless something catastrophic compared to now happens, he'll be here through to October minimum. This is a Brendan Rodgers scenario. This is it. This is it. And
but this is where I get pissed off at the club, Mike. Because the reason why I say this, do you know what? I think Liverpool need to really the players need a fresh voice. Whatever happens on the pitch, 100%. Mike, it's not going to work now. Too much scar tissues happened. As you say, Mike, I've been on here where we've been shouting about it. I can't even be asked to shout about it now. It's
not got the energy for it.
Liverpool is a brand, mate, because they are a brand, aren't they, in the world of football? They're being affected now, and they've got to make the call on it, Mike. Like, I agree with you. If it doesn't go now, You know, well, I still think he'll go in the summer personally, and everyone can have their opinion. But I understand why people would think he would make it till the start of the summer. You know, I do get that. There is always a worry. But one thing's for sure, Mike, if the club have got any fucking sense about them, which they kind of pride themselves on making good decisions, Mike. We know how Liverpool...
their reputation is supposedly logical thinking.
Exactly. They come across as not as fucking stupid crowd. However, Mike, do you know as soon as we have a fucking bad night next season, if Arne Slot's the manager, all we're going to hear is fucking from the fan base, it's fucking happening again. Why have we allowed this to happen? Liverpool need to stop that shit immediately, Mike. Do you know what? I look at these players, Mike, and we've said this off here many times, and I always thought they'd have an half-decent time in the cup games, Mike, from now until the end, because it's like they're out of the shit where they can have a bit of a fresh start in the cup games, I think. The league, mate, is fucking finished. There's not a chance, I think, Liverpool make it across the line for the Champions League next year in the league as it goes. Because the reason being is, Mike, I pose this question to you. How many of these games do you think Liverpool win? And I'm talking about the upcoming away games, Mike.
Let me pull them up.
They're going to Old Trafford. They're going to fucking Everton. And they're going Villa. They're just three of the big ones, Mike. I don't see Liverpool winning any of them.
If we're looking at Liverpool's Prem fixtures from now to the end of the season, I'm gonna read them out, and this is including home games. Okay, I'm gonna include home games. So our first Prem game back comes off the back of the FA Cup quarter-final to City and the away leg to PSG. So we are away in Manchester, and then we're away in France. We come back
the first
3
two,
days later. The first two games. We go Saturday to Wednesday, and then Wednesday, I think that looks like a Sunday. Against Fulham. So our first game back is Fulham at home. Fulham are playing right now. I've weirdly watched the last 3 Fulham games purely by coincidence. I throw a game on Fulham, just happened to be on. They're not the most entertaining side. Listen, they're not the most entertaining side to watch.
Sometimes get the job done.
But they get the job done. And also one thing about them is they're a very sensible side. And every time they play a team where they expect to not be the better side in, which is obviously probably say one half of the season, they play very well. They play better against the better teams. They're one of those sides. I'm going to be honest, Fulham at home is going to be a tough game. Then you have PSG
like
at home.
You just said, Mike, you said this sensible. We're the fucking polar opposite. We're not a sensible team.
Look at these away games. So once you get Fulham out the way, listen, you get Fulham out the way, there's 6 games left. There's 3 home games, 3 away games. The 3 home games are Palace at home, which, to be honest, I believe we win because they're a shit show at the moment.
We owe them fucking one, Mike.
We fucking owe them 2, 3, 4. Now, you then have Chelsea at home, right? You then have Chelsea at home. You don't know what Chelsea are. I think where Chelsea are come the 9th of May will tell you everything, okay? That's too hard to predict. But you have them at home. You like to think you get a result. Then you have Brentford at home last game of the season. That, depending on where we're at, we don't know. But the 3 away games, Everton away, they are waiting for this game. They are waiting for this game. This is a perfect situation.
3 of these games in the away games, Mike, are deadly for Liverpool, lad.
They're deadly, and they're also perfectly set up for the manager we're facing. David Moyes away, Derby. They're going to be all over this. This is set up for them sneaking Europe this season, by the way. This is absolutely set up for Everton sneaking 8th, 9th place or whatever and getting a European spot. 100%. You then have United away. They are not good under Carrick anymore. They've kind of slipped off in performance. They were not that brilliant yesterday. But what they are getting is results. And what is Carrick going to be able to do that I don't think Slot necessarily will be able to do at the moment? He's going to be able to encompass what the Liverpool United games are all about. He will get the Old Trafford side up and going. The Old Trafford fans are going to be up and at it. I mean, Christ, if fucking Amarin could do it twice last year against Slot, when we were the Arne Slot side, imagine what they're going to do against this one. And then the final one.
This team is fucked, isn't it? They've got no bollocks, lad. Like, as Dicko's saying here, Mike, Everton will bully us. But this is the common trend in all these games.
They will.
Brighton bullied Liverpool today.
Yeah, fuck me. Listen, their average age in that squad was 75. I swear to God. They had a 35-year-old centre-back, a 37-year-old centre midfielder, a 35-year-old forward, and they outran us by 5 kilometres. And listen, you know me as well as anyone, Ben. I am not dramatic. I am, especially when it comes to football, maybe in my own life, maybe. But when it comes to football, I'm a very sensible person, right? Like, I try and be as level-headed as possible. I'm a very calm one. I purposely delayed the video I was going to do because I'm doing another video similar to the one I put out a couple of weeks back. I'm doing that on this Liverpool game. I'm waiting until tomorrow because if I talk about it now, I know I'm going to lose my head. Now, I'll ask you, what's the excuse? Is there a reasonable excuse? Because you can go through it. We have a lot of injuries. It's been hard to gain any momentum in that respect. Is that a valid excuse for this? Where do you stand on this?
Mate, I'll be honest, my thoughts with what's going on at the minute with this Liverpool team, but that's, what is it, 26 out of 31 or 30 games this year they've been outrun?
Yeah, 26 now.
Earlier in the season, it's hard to call, isn't it, what's going on with the team, but I think we've seen now, Mike, for a long time, a year, Liverpool have been very hot and cold, and they're losing the same amount of games as they are pretty much winning at the minute, Mike, and for Liverpool, that, you know, you're talking of Hodgson fucking type of times, lad. Do you know what I mean? It was so up and down, up and down. And for the players we've got, Mike, it's not fucking good enough. And I think from now, you know, let's call it from half of the season into, from like a quarter into this now.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing for him, Mike. I just don't believe they are playing for him. Because if they were, mate, they'd be fucking putting more effort into it. And this is why, like, Mike, people keep, you know, I've put tweets out there. It seems to get a lot of traction at the minute. And some people are like, but you know, you're not blaming the players. I am blaming the players as well, Mike, but I think the cause is from the manager. And I just think, though, Mike, you know, what Arne Slot is, look, he seems a nice fella. He says things in the press, Mike, that I don't like, and I've admitted that for ages. Yeah, 100%. But I don't think he means bad towards Liverpool. For me, he's just not the right man for the football club, Mike, because I think, you know, it's not nice to keep comparing back to Jurgen Klopp, but you have to, because he is the fucking previous coach. To be a Liverpool manager, Mike, like, regardless if you win or not, you've got to have something about you, a bit of passion towards the fan base, and you've got to know when to cheer people up. Mate, the most passionate tweets I've seen all season is when people were talking about midweek, saying, look at Slot kicking off. He doesn't do it enough. That riles fucking fans up and players up. Yeah, you know, and I just think, mate, I'll be honest, I don't believe these players, mate, right? Anyone who keeps fucking saying on Twitter, for me, Liverpool is about pressing. They're a pressing team. They like to rush out around the pitch, get the ball back, and fucking hound teams. These players don't want to be sat there, Mike, fucking going side to side, backwards. Do you know why, Mike? Because one thing that we've always had a problem with is making our own mistakes. If we're going to play fucking slower, Mike, we are walking into mistakes. Look at the fucking goalkeeper straight away early on in that game. Fucking back pass to him, he's fucking booting it out, and it's like, lads, you're doing the same shit you did against Brentford away.
Up till that point, we were fine in that game as well.
Fucking booted it out the same, Mike. The same carbon copy of goal. It's just a rotation of shit. And Mike, I'll be honest, I'll tell you that they ain't putting the effort in because they don't want it for them, lads. I just don't believe they do.
You know, the comparison I'll draw, and you tell me if I'm wrong here. I think this is on a larger scale. This reminds me a lot of Unai Emery at Arsenal, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. That was a quality manager who went into that Arsenal team, tried to implement his style, and a lot of people go, listen, he should have got more time, etc. But because it was such a dramatic switch up from the way Wenger was playing, Emery never connected with the Arsenal fan base.
That's what I mean. He should have went in fan base after.
Whereas I've always held the belief that Unai Emery is one of the best managers in the world. I always hold that belief. I think he's phenomenal at what he is. And I think he's took Villa way further than they should have with what he has.
Yeah, because they're still up there now, you know what I mean?
They're still up and about. If they get Champions League this season, by the way, a ridiculous achievement, considering they have two of their best players have not been firing all season. Now, what I would say with Emery, when he left Arsenal, everyone went, well, get rid of Emery, da-da-da. And then you look what Emery's gone on to do. Because everyone that knew football kind of knew he was brilliant and he was just mistreated. I'm not saying Slot's been mistreated here, but Slot has been successful with Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he cannot, at the moment, I don't think he can take Liverpool further than what he has. And I think the best thing for his reputation, he's done it, yeah. I think the best thing for his reputation, at the end of the season, shake hands and go. Because what Liverpool need now, we've had, I refuse to refer to him as this, but I can't think of a better word. We've had a stopgap between the energy, the passion of Klopp it was almost tiring. It was tiring for Klopp. We've had the calm, sensible man come in, deliver a Premier League, a very difficult thing to do. All right, it wasn't just Salah or Russ. There was a lot more to it. He deserves a lot more credit than sometimes I think he gets. But the longer he is here and the longer we seem to be going on like this, the less Liverpool we see and the more of just another team in the league. And I think the best thing is he moves on. And it won't. And the best thing we can do is we bring in another manager. Some say Xavi, some say Cesc, some say this lad from Germany. I can't pronounce his name. Forgive me for that.
Or whatever.
And people seem to really like him. But Liverpool need a manager with a personality that is going to get people at it. And listen, they made the right move. Remember this, Ben. It was between, at one point, Amarin and Slot. The lads made the right call. Make no mistake. We made the right call at the time. Xabi was gone to Madrid. The last two on the list were Amarin and Slot.
Yeah.
We made the right call. I don't know whether I'd say trust is the right word.
The right call at the time doesn't always mean the long-term call, does it? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And there's a reason he signed a short-term contract as well. I want
to pose this to you, Mike.
Yeah.
Like, a lot's happened. So obviously people's opinions have changed. Obviously, it's not nice seeing, like you said before, it's proved more right for me seeing how Liverpool are. I've been saying it for ages. Not that I want to be right. I'd rather the manager prove me wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because fuck me, if we're proved right that he's not good enough for the job, Liverpool have had a disaster fucking season, which we fucking have. But one thing for sure, Mike, is I think Liverpool Football Club, it's so difficult to go from a Jurgen Klopp personality, someone, Mike, that could walk in a room of fucking 10,000 and you could hear a pin drop when they spotted him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Arne Slot walks in the room. It's not the same. Now, obviously, not everyone has to be the same type of character as a Jurgen Klopp. And what Arne's done this first season is fantastic. Best nights of my life last year. Some of them, do you know what I mean? But one thing's for sure, Mike, the longer he carries on, also the club are doing him a disservice by letting him drag it on. Because fuck me, Mike,
absolutely.
If this carries on, he won't have any credit. There'll be nothing because they'll be like, get out.
And his whole reputation's tarnished. Now,
it's getting there, Mike. It's getting there the way it's going.
It is.
Because
now, Ben,
Mike, I go to matches, right? And I haven't been able to recently because they fuck it with what's going on over here. But one thing I will say, Mike, is, especially like even doing the podcast, Mike, I never wanted to start doing a podcast when Liverpool go fucking to pieces, Mike, because I'm not asked about all this fucking talking shit. I talk to you, Mike, as a talk off air. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I know that's one thing about you, very consistent. Yeah. 100%.
And I don't want to be fucking slamming the team, mate. I'll be honest. I know I've had signal issues in Dubai recently, but I'm half glad that I haven't been doing podcasts, Mike, because I've had no fucking energy to talk about these dickheads, mate. The players as well have let the manager down at times, mate. And let's call it for what it is. Some of the shit that we've been getting served this year, mate, that's why I want him to take him out the job, because we need to fucking focus on some of them players to see which dickhead needs to go in the summer.
I'll tell you this, listen, what I'd like to do, Ben, is I want to read out Slot's comments post-game. So I want to read these out. And these are direct quotes. And the reason is because I've seen a couple in the chat mention for them to be read out. So this is Arne Slot's comment on Liverpool's 10th defeat of the season. It is clear that we have lost a lot of points after playing in Europe. I have tried to explain a lot of times why this is, but today we also have to give credit to Brighton. In the second half, they were the better team on the pitch. Arne Slot on whether games are running out to clinch Champions League football. This is what I meant before the game. When I thought, what I thought was you won't need 24 points to qualify, and hopefully I am right, because we aren't able to get 24 points anymore. We keep trying. In the second half, we were close, but they were closer to scoring the third than we were a second. Unfortunately, it was not enough after a week like this. Arne Slot on the pressure to end the season on a high. There is always pressure at Liverpool, on me, on the players. That is completely normal. We have qualified for the quarterfinal of the FA Cup in the Champions League, but in the league, we need to make sure that in the end, we qualify for the Champions League. As much as I dislike us losing here today, Brighton away has always been a difficult one and will always be a difficult one as long as they keep bringing in so many good players. For context, Brighton have only lost 3 times this season at home. One was Arsenal, one was Palace, I forget the other one, but they've only lost 3 times at home this season. But there are other games that we should have picked up more points, like last week at Tottenham. That is far more unacceptable than this. But even away at Brighton, a club like Liverpool should be able to get a result. 2 more quotes for you. Arne Slot on 10 Premier League defeats this season. It says a lot about the great teams Liverpool have had in the last 10 seasons, and a great manager, by the way, as well. I can tell you why we have lost 10 times. Conceding late goals today sums it all up with the injury situation. It is not my job to find excuses. My job is to find answers, and that is what I tried to find today. It worked not too bad in the first 45. We were playing with them. We were close. They were close. Second half, they were the better team. Final quote, 2 more quotes, sorry. Arne Slot. Nobody in England is used to the fact that there are clubs that are selling players. So usually in England, when a club is buying, usually in England, when a club is buying, is already adding to the great squad they have. But this club have a different model. Nobody wants to see that, and nobody wants to understand it. Certain pundits don't want to tell you we sold 300 million. If the 150 million player is not available, that's already one thing. If Leone is not available, that's another thing. Frimpong is only recently available.
He said on list.
Yeah, this is all his quotes. Mama is another signing. It makes complete sense when you win the league last season and you spend £150 million, not 450 million. Sorry, fucking hell. That's what I spent. That's the expectation. So at our club, we are looking at the situation and the things we had, the challenges we had this season. We might be a bit more realistic as to why the season has gone like this, but it is still not good enough. No matter how many excuses I come up with, it is still not good enough. Fuck me. Sorry, there's fucking loads here. It's a break for me. It's a break for you, but it's not a break for the players. I read today that Tuchel had 15 players come later during the camp, and unfortunately for us, it's the only country we don't have internationals. I think sometimes that's all about international shit. On anything he could have slot on if there's anything he could have done positionally with his players. We had to change something because we had Hugo out, Salah was unavailable, and Isak is unavailable. We have to play a player in a position that he is not used to, which is something we have had to do so many times this season. That has been our season and one of the reasons why we are struggling, but we're still in it. Even though we are not in a perfect position to qualify for the Champions League, we still have two other objectives. Fatigue, you never know. There's always multiple factors. It doesn't help when you're missing one of the top goal scorers the league has ever seen. The other one that has scored so many goals for the club, Hugo Ekitike, who has shown what a goal scorer he can be, has to go out as well. There's a lot, and then Alisson will be out past the international break. Yeah, that's it. Fuck me, that's a lot.
He's defending himself, isn't
he? He has. He's defending himself, and he's kind of saying.
It tells me, Mike, that he knows he's on the verge of going.
I kind of agree, to be honest. I agree. That reason,
Mike, you only throw all that shit in. You throw your towel in like that when you're like, well, I'm going anyway. So, but I'm going to tell you something as well.
Yeah, that felt like to me, it was like he was talking directly to the board there a little bit. Like, you know as well as I do the reason this shit's gone the way it has. We only bought 150 mil players and they're all fucking missing. That's what it felt like he's saying there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you want me to go to a gunfight, but I don't have any bullets.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Which, I mean, listen, fuck it. You're going to back yourself, aren't you?
Of course. But, Mike, you know what? Can I just say on this front, Mike? Yes, the squad might be short in one or two positions. But one thing's for sure, Mike, Jurgen Klopp proved that, you know, if you can't do it tactically, right, when you've got loads of injuries, Mike, you're going to have to do it a different way and get these players fucking up for it. He can't get them up for it, Mike.
No, I think that's an issue I do have with him as well. I think
there's no motivation that seems to drive them on. Like Mike, that shows top management, like driving them. Because, like, for instance, I always thought with Klopp, when they got in at half time, if they'd have had a stinker first half, they weren't going to have another one. But we get worse, Mike, and I think that's a major problem for me.
Yeah, I think a new voice last season helped because you'd notice that the second half was always so different.
Yeah, and a different change of direction, Mike.
But I think, you know what? I think that helps for the first couple of months. It's the same way that when you get out of an old relationship and you get into a new one, the first couple of months, you really enjoy it. You don't look at the red flags. You're like, put that on the back burner. But then after a while, you kind of realize, they're not my ex. Damn, my ex and I had a lot better memories.
Like than this bastard.
Yeah. I kind of miss my ex's hairline, No. I feel bad for that one. Jokes on me, lad. Eventually, I'll lose my hair. I know, but listen, it's a tough situation.
You will watching this fucking football team.
Hey,
just quick one.
Listen,
I'm just going to go through these super chats quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ethan say, can't get mad or upset anymore. It's at the point where I expect this every week. It's sad. Ethan, look, I appreciate that as always, lad. And mate, I'm the same, mate. If you don't laugh, you'll fucking cry. And I'm on the verge to cry. Gabe 241, Mike is saying, get Gerrard in for interim. These boys need some passion. If nothing else, he'll give that. Mike, quick one, just before we start wrapping it up, because I know people want to watch the matches and shit like that. We'll do another 10 minutes. But what's your take on this? Because you know what? It's one of them. It's come around more to some people. I've never been against it just because I thought, Mike, the crowd needs a lift. We've seen Anfield recently booing again. It can't happen, Mike. And I think this football club now needs just to get together, be united, Mike, and just try and drive ourselves to something, whatever it may be. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But we're certainly not going to get it, Mike, by just being stagnant.
I'll be honest. Listen, I think it's a perfect storm for Gerrard to come in because
it is right now. Yeah.
Like you've got your first two games was as Steven Gerrard. is you're going to have a whole new set of players, new manager. You're going to play Manchester City. You're then going to play PSG. And you're just going to tell your boys, go out there and fucking get after them. And it's great.
Fucking have it, yeah. Have it.
Yeah, literally. Fucking have it. And whatever happens, happens. Maybe you beat Man City, you lose to PSG. Well, that's great because your next 2 games are at home against Fulham and PSG. So then the Anfield crowd, with Gerrard in charge, are going to go nuts. And I think the very worst case scenario if Gerrard took over is you get knocked out of the Champions League, you get knocked out the FA Cup, but then you win 5 of your last 7, get Champions League. And then Gerrard can walk out. Very similar to when Lampard kind of came in for Chelsea on the second time. Yeah, whatever happens, happens, but go in. Yeah. You'll leave an impact. People will be happy for it, and you end the season on a high. And one thing Klopp was able to do in the shit seasons he had, because don't get me wrong, Klopp had some bad seasons, was he went on a winning streak at the end of the season, and he gave belief that whatever's coming next is going to be great. And on both occasions, Liverpool walked away with silverware in the following season. Yeah. So it's one of them. I think,
even
the safe
hope,
move
Mike,
then.
Feels like there's no hope anymore.
Give hope.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I couldn't agree more. I think that there feels like there's a lack of hope at the moment. I think the safe bet for Hughes and Edwards is to just wait this out. I think the smart move would be to act fast. That's the reality.
My worry is,
we'll see what happens.
My worry is just, this is Zach's comment saying, Ben, do I think they sack him? I do because, Mike, I'm sure you'll agree on this. And as I say, it's difficult to see them doing it. I understand it from your point of view. And many people have got the same view as you, Mike. But I am just thinking of it this way. I'm like, as I said, they go around thinking they make smart decisions. Watching this, Mike, is not a smart decision. Because I'm not being funny, lads. Do you know the sponsors they've signed up, Mike? Do you know if one of them call them and say, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Liverpool would sack stuff like that, mate. What is this? Yeah. Because let's be honest, Mike. The money they've brought, like over £1 billion fucking Adidas deal. You are not meant to go to Champions League the following year, Mike, are you?
No, well, this is the thing. I think as soon as the pockets get affected, that's when big calls are made. And someone with a bit of smart hindsight goes, foresight goes, the pockets are going to be affected if we don't do something. So I think the Brighton loss is a big one. I'm not going to lie. I think this is a big one. I think if you get away with the point, it's easy to smooth over. But our last 3 results have been draw to Tottenham, loss to Wolves, loss to Brighton.
That can't happen, Mike.
It can't. The Champions League game smoothed over a lot very quickly because of how the media works.
Yeah.
It can't go on like this.
But now, though, Mike, that result today should just wipe the goodness away from the Champions League result, Mike. Because obviously,
it killed the mood.
Yeah, I've killed the mood. Yeah. Mike, this is what I'm saying. These players can't keep going like this. High, low. Like their head must be fucking battered.
Listen, their head's going to be back. Like fucking, I bring this up all the time, and maybe I should stop in a way. A lot of their heads have been battered all season because, for an obvious reason, their fucking mate died. And listen, I'm not using that as an excuse or anything, but like we do seem to, some people do seem to forget that. But also, like the new lads that came in, their heads been battered all season because they've came into a dressing room where they're like, oh, we just won the league. Well, there's an incident at the parade which fucking killed the mood of the parade, and also one of the star players from the season before passed away. Also, we shipped out a bunch. Like, I think that the atmosphere around us in the summer was so bizarre and so hard to explain because there was such a celebratory feeling, but then what was happening inside felt just like this poison that was building, and it was so sad. It was so sad because it was so undeserved, the poison. Like it was misery no one deserved. And listen, I know you can't do anything about it. I'm not saying that's an excuse for everything this season, but like their heads are all fucked. I think everybody needs a lift. Everybody needs a lift. How can you get that?
And I also feel sorry for the new players, like because they've had to come in and pick the fucking players up off the floor.
Yeah, I mean, how are you meant to coming into this atmosphere? It must be so bizarre.
Well, as I say, lads, one of my mates who does the podcast with me, he's got a very close mate who works at the AXA, and from things that he's told him, it hasn't been good. When in the summer, do you know what I mean? When they all came back to training, because remember they were off when it happened, the incident, and then obviously when they went back in, it was really bad.
I heard a few things from the early start of the season, which I partly refuse to believe. I took it as gossip, but listen, I do think things will come out in 12, 18 months.
And I also think, Mike,
things are smooth.
Do you know, like for professional pride, these players will feel they've let themselves down this year, not doing enough for them, because that's what they do. Do you know what I mean? Like this is why I'm. Do you know, with regards to the squad, Mike? Yes, they were short in the odd position or two, however you want to see it, 1, 2, or 3. However, this is not enough to drop off this much, Mike.
I think I'll tell you this, by the way, Ben, we've got, obviously, the next 2 games back are away, which I think works in Slot's favour because you don't hear the Anfield crowd boo.
Oh, fucking hell. Too right, lads, yeah.
But if I'm telling you now, if the week we come back, we lose to City, we lose to PSG, and then we draw or lose to Fulham at home, it'll be a lot more than just a section of the cop booing.
But Mike,
a lot more.
Why not do the call now and give yourself half a chance? Because Mike, my worry is they'll do it when it's fucking far too late. What's the fucking point then?
I think something in their mind, and this is a silly thought, and I could be wrong. I think it's going to cost 17 mil to sack Slot. I think I read that somewhere. I don't know whether that's correct, but if I'm right, it was 17 mil. Or you wait till he goes into his last year of his contract and it cuts in half. That is like a genuine fine. I don't know whether that's like the actual truth of it, but if that is the truth, financially, you go, he probably gets us 5th, because this is the argument for them right now. But this is what I'm saying. This is their argument. They go, can he get us over the line to 5th? If so, leave by mutual consent, half the price. Or I've got to go, bro.
What's that? The notification?
Yeah, I got a missile warning, brother.
Yeah. May I've had them like fucking doorbell ringing.
I know, mate. Honestly, I've been fucking clear all day, but just I've got a missile warning, so I've got to fucking pack up because I'm right by the window.
Do you know what? Just before we go, Mike, the thing is, I look at it, 17 might be a fucking bargain, or it might be expensive at the club, however they see it. Missing out on the Champions League is far more important. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And I just think, Mike, I'd be honest, question for you, Mike. Do you know if they carry on as they are and they don't get top 4, we'd all be saying, why the fuck did they carry on doing it?
You're fucking spot on. Like, you're spot on.
Mike,
this is the power of hindsight.
I don't want to be right with it. Managers, Mike, but we can't just fucking let it fizzle out.
Yeah. No, 100%. Listen, I think that the thing is, hindsight is the biggest bitch on the planet. And it'll teach you a lesson or two. Because I think a lot of us look back now and we go, why didn't we sack him after PSV? And I get why we didn't. I think if you sit and look at it neutrally, I hate saying it, but I get why we didn't. Now is getting to the point where even I am going, I'm struggling to see reasons why not to. And that's not even against Slot. It's for the club as a whole. Because no one's happy. And I think Slot is a lovely guy. I'm very grateful he brought us to the league. I do think he's a very good manager who will do very well in his career. I think leave Liverpool, go Ajax, go win a couple of titles. Unbelievable.
He's just not a Premier League manager for me, Mike.
But, weirdly, I think he is. Like, I could see him, and I'm being honest, I could see him leaving Liverpool, go back to Ajax, whatever, go for a couple of years. Great experience in the Prem for him. Come back, take over using this as an example, take over an Aston Villa, take over a Bournemouth, take over one of these sides, whatever, and doing very well with them. Or coming in and who fucking knows, taking over Chelsea. He was offered the Chelsea job.
But Mike, the spotlight's not the same when you're at Liverpool compared to them clubs.
And I agree. And I think that's the killer,
isn't it? That's the problem. He's not used to being like at the top of the fucking football food chain, lads. And it is what it is. But Mike, I know, because obviously the alerts are going off. I know mine will probably fucking go off shortly as well. I just want to say, Mike, before we go, look, there's just been 126 in the house, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. Our show is going to be coming back as normal. We're back again tomorrow. A few of the lads have gone to match today. I was meant to go. Unfortunately, still in Dubai. And I just want to say appreciate to everyone joining in. Sorry we haven't been as frequent with the shows. I'm in the Middle East. Mike's in the Middle East at the minute as well. Sometimes the signal's shit, and I don't want to be on a stream cutting out all the time like the other day. It was a fucking nightmare. But Mike, I know you're starting and potentially doing your own channel. Tell everyone where they can find you on Twitter, lad, and also get your video out tomorrow.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, everyone can find me on Q Talks Football on Twitter, on X. I will have a YouTube channel, which is literally just going to be called Michael. I will be linking that when I eventually start it up. I'm just putting videos out on X at the moment. So, listen, if you thought I was relatively entertaining or okay to listen to, give me a follow. If you hate me and want to abuse me, please don't. Send that towards Ben.
I already see the Gala fans coming in, lad. They're coming for me.
Gala fans, I think you've got a wonderful club. Big up Graham Souness. I'm fine with you. I have no beef with you. But no, listen, I will be starting my channel up. And Ben, I will say, if you ever want a guest on or anything, man, I'm always down to hop on. I love hopping on with you.
100%, lad. And as I say, because I thought today would be a good one because you calm me down. Some of our boys make me fucking worse. Do you know what I mean, lad? So you've certainly calmed me down today, and I appreciate it. I knew it'd be good to get you on, Mike, because since we've done that show together last time, Mike, a lot's happened again. So it was always good to resurface and do a show together. But look, Reds, we'll wrap it up. Try and keep the faith is all I can say. I'm tired of arguing. I'm tired of fucking shouting personally. And one thing about Liverpool fans, mate, we stick together and we've got to at the minute. And let's see what happens. I think there's a good chance he may go, Mike. That's not me saying I've heard anything or not. I wouldn't say that right now because the club is going to be very watertight, whatever people may spout shit online and all that.
Yeah, well, listen, there's one lad that I think we have in common that we both might give a text after this to see what's what, whether he's right or wrong. His links are always a little bit touch and go, but I'll be shooting 1 or 2 texts after this call.
The thing is, though, Mike, all I'm going to say is before we go is I hope the club are looking at what the fan base is like, mate, because if you've got a Liverpool fan base that's down in the dumps, lad, that's not a good sign. And do you know what, mate? They're losing the 12th man on Anfield, lads, and I can't keep watching that. Liverpool.
Can I tell you one big turn just before we go? I think one of the biggest turns is when the pundits turn. Because Jamie Carragher, I'm one of the few Liverpool fans that love Jamie Carragher. In fairness, growing up, I wanted to be a defender, so he was kind of my idol, right? So forgive me for it, right? But I think Carragher's not turned on him, but Carragher's pointing out the issues now. And Carragher's noticing. Yeah, I think once the pundits start having words about it, it's a ticking time bomb now. So
you know why, Mike? I think that comes out when they've heard something. So they've probably.
I think sometimes
we don't need to be as coy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look,
because it's around the corner.
Mike, if you want to come on this week, let me know, lads. You're always more than welcome
100%.
As always. And if you need anyone
100%.
on your stuff in the future, shout me. Reds, have a good night and see you soon. Up the fucking Reds.
Up the board.